Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Thank you so much for your previous likes, comments and subscriptions to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, why not click on that button and ring the bell so you can get notifications of whenever I'm dropping content on the channel. And now onto the topic of this video, and we have a new gameplay format in Rise of Empires. It's called Battlefield of Honor. Back at the start of the year, the devs previewed this just in a little snapshot of what's to come. And finally, in the last 2 weeks, players have started to be able to take part. So states 107 to 120 took part last week, and now a few more states have taken part, including my own. So I actually did a Battlefield of Honor earlier today, and I'm pleased to say I'm going to try and give you as much information in this video as I can about the event. So first off, you're going to find it in events, and then Battlefield of Honor here, and then this is kind of the main menu. Now, before we go into any of this menu, let's talk about the actual structure of the format. So this is played on a separate map, similar to like Eden. You get taken off into a separate map when you join in the battle, and the map is going to look like this on here, and there are multiple new buildings on the map. So you can see that at either end of the map, you're going to have your own fortress and HQ. That's basically your starting area, and we'll talk about this more in a minute about the specific buildings. And then you've got watchtowers that you're going to be able to connect land to expand your territory. Anyone that's played Dragon Relic event from the younger states will know how that works. Each side of the map, you have 2 outposts, 2 command centers. You have a hospital and an arsenal on either side. And then you have 1 Fortress of Honor at the north end of the map and 1 at the south end of the map. Those give very high points when you occupy them. And then there are 2 relays on either side of the map. That is to do with taking the runestone, which you can do 3 times during the battle, which I'll explain again in a bit. And then Sanctuary, which is the one structure right in the middle of the map. And that's where you're going to obtain the runestone when it becomes available. These maps are not huge because you're only playing 20 players against 20 at any one time. Your fortress is 100 kilometers from the sanctuary, so you're only 200 kilometers from your other opponent's fortresses. There are some like kind of debuffs and stuff that we're going to talk about, so not everything works as normal during the battle. So let's look at notification phase. So the event will enter a notification phase before the start of the event. Previews of Battlefield of Honor will show up in the event center. Sign up phase. So you'll see when you click on the menu, you will get this mobilization management option. And after the notification phase, so the event will enter the sign up phase. Alliance leaders and R4 members can sign up for the alliance. Only the top 20 alliances of the province can sign up. Alliances must be older than 7 days since creation, and players must be overseas 16 and have been in the alliance for at least 24 hours. Now it's broken down into 20 participating players and 10 replacement, like backups, and it's based on the top 20. Well, you can basically choose an R4 and R5 can at any point choose who they want to have. So you can just select the top 20, which is the green ticks, and then the blue are the backups. Now, when the event is available, so the sign up phase is Tuesday to Thursday, and then today we actually took part in the battle. The battle lasts for 1 hour, and currently it's available at +2, +8, +14 and +20, so you can choose when your start time is out of those 4 start times, and there will be a menu available showing you how many other alliances have signed up at those different times. Then there'll be a matchmaking process, which is based on various things in terms of the power in the alliance, your previous reign of chaos scores, all those kind of like mixed things in terms of technology. There's various different. It's a kind of secret algorithm, but it's designed to balance your MMR score should be pretty close to your opponents. That's the idea. In terms of actually on your start time, so the battle will enter a prep phase 10 minutes before the start time. The 20 players that are selected as the entrants, as the main participating players, should then enter the map. If when the battle starts you don't have 20 players on the map, any of the 10 backup replacement players can then enter the map. So the basic rules. The main goal of the battlefield is the fighting and occupying of the strongholds, which will provide alliance points continuously once occupied. When the battleground ends, the alliance with the highest amount of points will win. So you just have 1 hour to make as many points as you can. You take points by obtaining these buildings, by attacking opponents, and there's a few other ways as well. So when you join, you'll see that it shows you to join the outpost, take on an outpost, and you'll gain points. Obviously, the team with the most points at the end of the hour wins the battle. That's pretty simple. And you have these watchtowers as well. It will explain about that and how to build them. So you've got your fortresses at either end and headquarters. So with the headquarters just behind each fortress, these can't be attacked. Your castles will start in this zone. So this is where our opponent was earlier. And if a castle is in this HQ zone, then they can only be scouted, as you can see on the image attached. If you are outside of that zone in your territory, you can be attacked like you could normally on a map. And once you're zeroed, you would go back to the HQ safe zone. Sentry, so we've got the fortresses are the strongholds located at each alliance headquarters, providing both sides with starting territory. That's all they basically do. So watchtowers are castles. Castles can only teleport to allied territory during the battleground. The territory in front of the headquarters will act as the starting area for allied forces. Territory can be expanded by building watchtowers. If you see on this image, you need crystal to sacred crystal to construct a sentry tower. It's 200 crystals per tower. You can have a maximum of 50 towers on the map, and it takes you start with 1,000 sacred crystal, each alliance does. So you can build 5 sentry towers straight away, and you can collect sacred crystal from areas on the map as well, so you can build more sentry towers. Sentry towers do take time to build. So you can see it took 3 minutes 20 seconds in our beta battle earlier, and you can see while it's being built, you can't teleport into this area, and you can see that there's the little hashed icons showing where the area will be though once you've occupied it. As soon as you've occupied it, after the 3 minutes 20 are up, you can teleport a castle into there. An alliance can only have a maximum of 20 teleports at a time, but there are ways to obtain more teleports. If you occupy certain buildings, which we'll talk about in a minute. And once this sentry tower is finished, then you can just build. If you have the crystal available, you can just then start connecting the next one. And the idea is that you're going to increase your territory on the map and get closer to the center of the map, so that you can actually target your opponent's buildings, because you'll have a shorter marching time. So those are sentries. Now we have various different buildings on the map. So as I already said, now Fortress of Honor, the buildings that are at the north and south of the map, if you're thinking that your HQs start at the east and the west, these are extremely important strongholds that provide huge amounts of points. Occupying a Fortress of Honor will provide the Alliance with a massive amount of Alliance points periodically. It's every minute it refreshes. And additional Alliance and personal points are awarded when the Fortress of Honor is occupied for the first time. Fortress of Honors will be open to occupy 5 minutes after the battle starts, so you can't occupy every building immediately. Outposts are the most basic stronghold, so they are closest to your HQ. Occupying an outpost will provide the Alliance with a small but steady stream of Alliance points. Additional Alliance and personal points are awarded when the outpost is occupied for the first time. And outposts are available from the start of the battle. Command centers are vital strongholds that can provide teleports. So each command center occupied by an alliance for the first time will immediately reward 5 teleports. Repeatedly occupying the command center will yield 2 teleports each time, and the command center will provide the occupying alliance with 1 teleport every 5 minutes. So as you can imagine, if there's 20 of you on the map, teleports are actually quite scarce to come by, particularly if you're getting attacked a lot and being zeroed. So when it's 20 on 20, it really is quite it's an aggressive format of the game. You want to be attacking players and zeroing them, because that if they're landing back at the HQ, they have further to trek across the map. That's going to really hamper them. You can see from the image that I've got on the screen at the moment, you can that I was taking this outpost. Now, once you initially get to a building, you're going to take time to actually, you have to garrison in the building, and it takes time to take that building. So you can see for an outpost, it was 1 minute to take the building. The only two types of building that doesn't apply to are relays and the center building, because you don't actually occupy that. So we have a few other types of buildings as well. Arsenal, so these will increase the might and resistance by 50% for each arsenal occupied by the Alliance. There are only 2 on the map. Sanctuary is a core stronghold located in the center of the map. So the escort mission originates from here. So what is the escort mission? So for the first 15 minutes of the battle, you cannot access the sanctuary or relays. You cannot occupy them. But as soon as 15 minutes is over, you will see this icon appear above the sanctuary, and that is the runestone. Now, whoever gets to the sanctuary first, once it is unlocked, will get the runestone. And there are 3 of these missions in a Battlefield of Honor hour. So once the runestone has been obtained by one of the alliances, then the clock resets for another 15 minutes. So if it takes you a long time to actually occupy and obtain the first runestone, you might not fit in 3 of them in the battle, but they do give a lot of points, team points, which is under the escort score. So what happens? So whoever on which alliance takes the runestone first from the sanctuary, and all you've got to do is just march to the sanctuary to obtain it. Your legion will then make its way back to your HQ, and it has to pass through 2 relays. Once it gets to a relay, though, it's going to have to wait there. So for the first relay, you have to wait for 40 seconds. Now, if your opponents are attacking you during that time, you get your legion collapses, then the runestone goes back to the middle, to the sanctuary. So relays are important strongholds heavily involved in the key escort mission. The relay itself is a neutral stronghold open to occupation from both sides. Occupying a relay will not provide points. So these are really key. If your opponents can occupy the relay, then you won't be your opponent. If you can occupy the relay, your opponents can't actually complete the mission of returning it. So once you've got to the second relay, and it's a longer wait time, then once you've passed that, then the runestone goes to your HQ and you're awarded the points. Sacred crystal mines. So we talked about the need for using watchtowers. They take 200 sacred crystal to build 1 watchtower. So you will find sacred crystal plots on the map, and you can gain more sacred crystal by sending your troops to gather at the sacred crystal mine. There are 200 crystals on each mine. Once you've gathered the 200, then the mine just disappears, and the 200 gets added to your alliance total. It does generate some points as well, but it's not a big points dealer for the alliance. Hospitals, so increase injured troops healing speed by 100%. There's 2 on each map. It is stackable, so you can get up to 200. And you can find out what buffs your alliance is holding by clicking on this bottom right hand icon on the map. I wouldn't advise, hospitals are not that important. All of your troops in the battle are going to be healed and returned to you at the end of the battle. Some other elements that I needed to talk to you about is that each player only gets to use 2 legions during the battle, and so that can be that makes it like more tactical in terms of what you're going to do, and also you will encounter this curved marching. So there are like mountains on the map, and that does impact on your marching speed. So when your legion has to maneuver around a mountain, that will slow its marching time. So it's not direct as you would see on like your home state map or on an Eden map. On the Battlefield of Honor map, it does have an impact. So that is everything in terms of info. At the end of the battle, whoever's got the most points wins, and you have your combat ended. And let's just go back to, so it's going to look battle history. You can view, it will show the individual players' scores. There was only 3 against 1 during this. You can click on personal data and it will show your individual scores and your rankings, and then you will get rewards in the mail like you would for other events. So you will get the Alliance Victory Reward. So everyone in the Alliance will get this. It's currently 1,000 gems and 20 times healing hours. You'll get a personal score reward, and that is tiered based on how many points you score. And I'll show you those different levels in a minute. So I got 1,500 gems, 200 hero tokens, 2,500 courage medals. And the players that took part will get a mobilization victory reward as well. In the actual menu, let's go here. So you can see reward info. Currently, this is for the beta test version. Victors, all the Alliance members get 1,000 gem, 20 healing speed ups. The losers get 510. And participation award for the winners and losers, as I said. Depending on your personal point scores, ranging from 500 to 999 up to 10,000 or more. So that's the top reward is for the winners is 2,000 gems, 250 hero tokens and 3,000 courage medals. In LSS, I know that winners would get 7 super recruitment tickets, and participating alliances would get 3 super recruitment tickets. So if you were winning and participated, I think you got 10. But this, everyone might be thinking, oh wow, you can potentially accumulate a lot of rewards, and maybe the devs are going to change the rewards once we get to the full version is released. But it's this event in LSS is only on once every 2 weeks, so we'll have to wait and see how often it is on in Reign of Chaos. Sorry, in Rise of Empires. A few more bits to look at. So there are the rules here, which does tell you, like, you can have a look at this in your own time. It covers mainly stuff that I have already discussed. And personal points. So the following are the ways to obtain personal points during the battleground. Occupy a stronghold for the first time, gather sacred crystal, fight an enemy and gain points castled on the amount of combat power they lose, and successfully escort the runestone. So if you get the runestone from the sanctuary, then you will get points. Obstacle rules, as I said, obstacles such as mountains are dispersed across the entire map of the battleground. If a destination requires crossing over such obstacles, the marching route will automatically reroute, increasing marching time. Already talked about the different levels when the different buildings get released. So fortresses, outposts and command centres are available from the start. Hospitals, armories and supply stations are available after 5 minutes. Sanctuaries and relays after 15 minutes. We already talked about rewards. Spectating, so you can actually, if you're not taking part but you are an Alliance member, you can click on the spectator button on the menu, and there can be up to 30 spectators, but you cannot join if it's the last 5 minutes of the battle. Other special rules to tell you about. So the your usual buffs from Emperor and officers is ineffective during the battleground, and zone com and zone commemoration technology is ineffective as well. False tactic items are ineffective during the battle, so might, resistance and gathering bonus items can be used in the battleground. Dragon shouts are disabled. Like I said, maximum of 2 legions. You have unlimited stamina. Marching speed up functions cannot be used, so you can't speed up your marching. And hero skills and skills provided by parts can be used. So I presume that means, like, for instance, you might want to use your S1 heroes, Lionheart, Iron Hand, Pacer, for instance, who all have that 7th skill, active skill, that gives 100% marching bonus. Soldiers do not die during the battleground. As I said, they all return. During the battleground, emergency tents have no capacity limit, so you can just basically you can just kill all your troops during the battle and they'll come back. So it really doesn't matter. Marching speed in the battlefield is slowed down, but scouting speed is doubled during the battleground if you need to check on someone's strength. And if a castle is completely destroyed, it will be reconstructed back at the Alliance headquarters. The number of enemies killed in battles during the battleground are not calculated and do not count towards your kill quests or your kill counts. And then everything else in here we've already covered basically in the battle, so in the video already. So there we go, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. I'm really hoping that I will be able to do a live stream with the do a Battlefield of Honor live stream very soon, and be able to show you more about the format. It's personally, for me, I thought it looks like a really fun format. It's pretty fast going. I think if you have 20 versus 20, it's only for 1 hour. You can hopefully get pretty decent rewards for that as well, and I think it's just going to be a bit of a free for all, because I think most of the points that you'll gain are potentially from attacking each other, and that obtaining the runestone mission. So yeah, that's everything on Battlefield of Honor. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, please do click on that like, and if you please share this video and my channel in your Alliance chat, Province chat, and through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with your fellow players in the game, that would be very much appreciated. If you have any other questions, then of course put it in the comment section down below. There's quite a few of us that have now taken part in the beta trials this week and last week, and of course, if you have any other comments, do you like the new format or not, then I'd love to hear about your views on Battlefield of Honor. There we go. That's everything for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.